Hello, everybody. Welcome to Championship predictions for round 35. This is getting very twitchy for me now, Sam. An 8-5 win for you in the midweek round. So my massive gap is, I feel like Coventry over the winter here. My massive gap is down to 3. It's 16-13 with 6 draws. Hopefully, like Coventry, I'll then have a little flurry again and put my lead back in. Good performance from you, mate. You got Sheffield United 1, Coventry 2, bob on. I got Wrexham 2, Pompey 1, bob on. But in the rest of the outcomes, a good midweek for you, Sam, in a really interesting week in the Championship. And we've already mentioned them twice. Great week for Coventry in the title race as well.
Yeah, great midweek. I feel a little bit lucky here because I was so off with Hull Derby, for example.
Everybody was.
Millwall, Birmingham.
Everybody was.
I fancied Birmingham there. So there was a few curveballs, I think, in the week, but throw Snoop Dogg into the mix. Just
Do you
an
think
excellent
Paul
few days.
Heckingbottom really smelt weed in the tunnel, or was he just being a little bit cantankerous there?
Oh, if it's a line, it's tremendous.
It's an absolutely tremendous line,
yeah.
isn't it?
No, I think the way
guy from the Sun was all over that on his YouTube title.
There was a few people chortling, wasn't there, in that little press room at Swansea?
No.
I think the way he delivered it, I think there was maybe some substance to it.
Oh,
but yeah, it was pretty surreal.
Little example of the laughs we have here.
Pretty surreal watching him bowl around the stadium, getting serenaded with "You Jack," BASTARD or whatever.
Okay, there you go. I'm sure he's experienced worse with his gangster rap roots. Get involved in the comments. Sam is here, there, and everywhere this weekend, and he's starting his wonderful weekend at Ashton Gate for Bristol City versus Watford. I know this is a nightmare for you when you're doing the game. You got to call this down the middle, haven't you? But what do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. I suppose I'm just going to go. I haven't started my prep yet, so I think they're two teams that certainly in Watford's case change quite frequently in season. So I will be poring over whatever I can get my hands on in the next 48 hours. I've seen Bristol City in the flesh more recently, and let's just look at the last few days. There was a lot of good about their win at Blackburn. Watford, I don't think, laid too many gloves on, if that's a phrase, on Ipswich. Plus, they're missing a few players going into this
Maximum of 2 gloves, Sam, yeah?
Yeah. And it sounds like they're missing a couple of major attacking players for this one. So I'm going to go Bristol City 2, Watford 1.
Which is a scribble, Sam. I agree with your rationale. Feels like a game that's going to be won out of possession, doesn't it? It sounds like, from what Eustace said about Derby playing against Watford, that it was physicality that did for them in that game. And we know that Struber's all over the pressing. Apparently, the new lads, Horvath and Isle at the back, were, decent and have, kind of coming well. So I had Watford scoring and City winning. I'm doing this as a watch-along, Sam, as well as you commentating. So I want loads of goals. So I'll go 3-1 then instead of 2-1, which you made me scribble out. Derby versus Blackburn is a John Eustace derby. This is tricky because we had the new manager bounce for Blackburn. So if that's gone, then this is a home win. If that was just a little fresh start fallacy. Derby have had a really bad week, Sam. Very leaky at Hull, although Hull are ridiculous with their finishing, aren't they? 0.58 XG or something for 4 goals the other day. They just get it done, don't they? I think I trust Derby more in this one, Sam. So I'm going to go for a home win. And it tends to be a clean sheet. I'll just take the 1-0. It's predictable, it's safe, and I'm doing it. Derby 1, Blackburn 0.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm already said my piece on Blackburn. I'll add 1 win in 8 on the road. And that was at QPR, wasn't it, last time out? So we'll see if that was a flash in the pan. I think Derby were unfortunate from what I've seen at Hull in the
mate, at 2-2, they had a load of chances.
Yeah, I think I've got it here, if you don't mind a little bit of rustling of paper. XG 0.58.
So three or something, wasn't it?
3.27. Which
clinical Hull.
I don't always go down that route, but I think it's worth mentioning, in this example. And Hull, it was so clinical. The third and the fourth goals, even McBurney's goal, but the third and the fourth from
good take at first touch from McBurney, wasn't it?
Yeah, Egan and Kumas's goals, they're half chances. Chances dispatched. Do you know what I mean? So they're a little bit fortuitous. So I'm going to side with Derby here against Blackburn. I'll go 2-0.
I'm very interested to what you're going to say for Leicester versus Norwich. I'm sure you can argue this every which way, can't you? Tricky.
Yeah, that's difficult, isn't it? That's difficult. I suppose Norwich, having lost at home to Birmingham, leaves them 12
Well, they beat
points.
Sheffield Wednesday last night.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, that potential rise to get around the playoffs, which would be 12 points off at the moment. It's not going to happen.
Are you invoking the beach here already then? Or are you waiting for QPR for that?
Yeah, I suppose 7 points isn't them home and hosed, is it? In terms of, I'm coming up with some phrases today, but in terms of relegation, I think I'm just going to go for Leicester. I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, 2 draws, got them going. I think Norwich score. I'm going to go for another 2-1. 2-1 home win. But listen, you would think I was a Norwich City supporter, the way that I've championed them across the last few weeks. I think they're a
10 wins in 14, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're a very, very good side. I think he has been an absolute masterstroke, that appointment. But I'm just going to go for the necessity for Leicester being slightly greater, 2-1.
I feel that the logic is trying to get us to avoid the third straight draw for Gary and for Leicester. But I think it could happen, couldn't it?
Yeah.
I think he'll really respect Norwich's excellent form. By the way, Toure, the new striker, he went out injured early in the game last night. I don't think it'd be the worst week in the world. You said when he got the job, that's a really difficult first week. You go to Stoke, then you go to Middlesbrough, then you go to you're at home to Norwich. Ideally, you'd like 3 to 5 points in that. So I think 3 points would be the bottom of what you'd want for a kind of new manager bounce. So I think it could be another 1-1. And Leicester on their way to drawing their way to survival. So I'll go Leicester 1, Norwich 1. Portsmouth v Hull, crikey. So Pompey went under at Wrexham, but had a really good go at it in the second half. They just conceded the 2 in the first half. And it feels like we've got our Hull back now, Sam. They got a bit boring, hadn't they, with clean sheets and, sensible wins, and thrown in a ridiculous home defeat against QPR and then a 4-2 win with 0.58 XG. So could be anything. I think I probably need to give Hull a point at minimum, but it feels both teams to score, and I'm back on the goals for Hull. I'm going to go for a Desmond, Sam. Pompey 2, Hull 2. I don't think I see Hull winning it, though.
It's what I was going to go for. I'm going to sit on
yeah.
the fence on this one, my second game of the weekend. Yeah, Hull are starting
Are you doing
ship.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So starting to ship opportunities. I think Portsmouth will make changes for this one because I think they were unchanged for the defeat at Wrexham from Saturday. So
and they've gone 3 away in a row as well, Sam.
Yeah, and they had the reaction in the second half. They conceded, obviously, a disappointing one from a set piece again, which they kind of sorted out the last few weeks. So that was back with a vengeance, and another ball into the box, which Smith finished brilliantly for Wrexham. But 2 poor goals from their point of view. I'll go 1-1 then, mate, if you're having a 2-2. I think that's really difficult to call. I could see that away end in raptures with a victory, but I could also see Portsmouth rolling them over. I think it's very, very difficult. I think it'll be a tough physical game, that one. 1-1.
Charlton versus Wrexham. Charlton, doing for Eric Ramsey, who we'll come on to, and Wrexham just seemingly going from strength to strength.
Yeah, 2 very, very good points for Charlton. I think they had 6 shots across the 2 games at Southampton and West Brom and left with a point from each.
But that's what they do. When they're in a game, they get something out of it, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know if I said it to you earlier in the week, but Carey's got to be one of the signings of the season, hasn't he, in the Championship? 8 goals, I think he's got now. I'd have to look at the I don't know if I said this to you, but I do like looking at what the goals mean. It was something that I used to enjoy doing when I was playing. Have I scored any meaningful goals, or are they all
Late
consolations?
equaliser, late winner, yeah.
Yeah, I think Carey scored maybe 3 or 4 winners. So when you factor that in, how important has his signing been, or goals that have garnered points? Anyway, I digress because I fancy Wrexham to run away with it here. I just think the work's almost done for Charlton. Slightly different proposition at home where they maybe have to open out a little bit more. And I think that Wrexham are just in great form. I'm going to go 3-1 away win. That's
interesting. Do you know what? I was kind of down the middle, but you've persuaded me on Wrexham while you've been talking, to be honest.
I think Jones went off, didn't he? Lloyd Jones early at the Hawthorns as well.
And Wrexham will very much go to the wing backs and cross into the box. So that's a very good point. He will be, in the words of Neil Warnock, he heads bricks, doesn't he? I think it's...
I heard someone say the other day, it was on Football Cliches, he'd stick his head in the cement mixer.
Please, anybody listening, don't head a brick and don't stick your head in the cement mixer.
That was to the extreme, wasn't it? Of the yeah.
I think Charlton fans are going to want to stick our heads in the cement mixer because I think we're both putting this on for a public apology here. I'll go Charlton 0, Wrexham 1, and they are just getting more and more involved in this promotion conversation, aren't they? What a week for Coventry. It's Coventry versus Stoke. Since they surrendered top spot, Sam, 3 wins in a row, and they've taken 7 points out of Borough. Stoke are huffing and puffing. They got their first win in something like 9 at home to Oxford, who are in the relegation zone, obviously. I hate being this confident about it. I can't see anything other than a home win here. I think the resilience has been tested for Coventry. They've come through. They've got a nice lead, and they're not only, Sam, are they back title favourites, they're odds on again. So I will be backing Coventry. Should we go back to the start of the season when we used to throw in a 3-1 for Cov every time? Let's do it. 3-1.
I was thinking that, but it goes under the radar a little bit. Stoke have got the best defence, haven't they?
Go figure. Yeah. And Coventry fans will know all about why as well, won't they?
Yeah, and didn't they... I think it was 1-0, wasn't it? From Mason Clark, maybe, at Stoke early in the season.
Great goal as well at the end, volley at the end.
I'm going to go for the double up. I'm going to go for Coventry to do what they were doing just around Christmas time, which was getting over the line in tight home games. 1-0, Cov.
Can I label this Ed Sheeran versus Snoop Dogg then? Ipswich versus Swansea, Sam.
Ipswich, Swansea. Swansea, I mean, it was quite funny. I saw it, a few people saying that he was treated to the archetype Preston Championship result in midweek. Snoop Dogg 1-1 at the Liberty. Right, how are they getting on away from home? Yeah, pretty inconsistent, aren't they, Swansea, in terms of they can be very, very good and they can have the odd off day, but in the main, he's done brilliantly, hasn't he? I've got to go for Ipswich to win. A rare goalless afternoon for Vipotnik. 2-0 home win. Same result as the weekend at Vicarage Road.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think I give Vipotnik a goal in this game though. But so Swansea will press really high. So I think this could be goalie, couldn't it? Because if Ipswich play through, they'll probably have quite a lot of space. But conversely, Swansea will probably nick the ball high regain a few times knowing how Ipswich...
Lost 8 in 10 away from home, Swansea.
Swans, yeah. And I was looking at Nunez. His last 10 starts for Ipswich, 8 wins, a draw and a defeat. And he was back against Watford. So he might be the key player.
It's funny how things pass you by. 7 wins, 2 draws in the last 9 at home, Swansea.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
So it's just the away form which is keeping them from really climbing.
And if anyone wants to do the research, there's a pattern with that. It's not been a vintage. Do you realise now Coventry are the best away team in the division and they hadn't won in 7 or something on the road? Back-to-back wins and they've accumulated the most points away now, which is just shows how people...
Derby and Hull are the 2 teams that
Yeah, they
kind
were
of be
there.
consistent about being the best away teams.
Possibly
but
on points per game, they might still be there, but points accumulated is Coventry after
right. Hull have only been good
night.
since Christmas, actually, since late November.
Well, I'll go for this to be goalie then, and I'll go for a bit of a 23-24 Ipswich win. I'm going to play for a bonus point and go for a 3-2, and for Ipswich Town to make it uncomfortable for their long-suffering fans there at Portman. Look at this, Sam. You're going to say filth when I say Oxford versus West Brom. Poor old Eric Ramsey. I feel so bad for him, when people, make the leap, change country, go for the first big job, and he's out in 9 games. It clearly didn't work. We're recording here on Thursday, Sam, so unless you've heard anything, you would imagine there'll be no new manager in. I don't know who's going to be taking the team, so a bit of chaos there. So one of two things is going to happen, Sam. I don't know what. Either there'll be a bit of chaos and West Brom lose again, or, as we always say, the players weren't particularly having Eric Ramsey, but then there was no bounce after Ryan Mason, was there? I'm going to go for the Oxford win. I'm so sorry, West Brom fans, because this has been an absolute disaster and really likely to be relegated the way this is going if they don't get the managerial hire right. Oxford 1, West Brom 0, and it's going to be bowling shoe ugly.
This is very, very difficult. Do you know what? I think it's going to be James Morrison, unless I've imagined that.
Okay. And has he been on the staff right the way through? Okay.
I think so, yeah. They played pretty well against Charlton at home. They maybe didn't have...
In the context of West Brom, yeah.
Masses of chances. Do you know what? I'm going to go for an away win. I just think they played better. There may be a little bit of a release of pressure if the supporters turn up and get behind the team rather than being naturally focused on an underperforming manager. You may see a better outcome for them. Oxford desperately need it. Could be a bit more open. I'm going to go 2-1 away win. And listen, that's nothing against Oxford and Matt Bloomfield, because I think the results don't necessarily mirror the performances in quite a lot of cases here with Oxford. And I think they could still give themselves a fighting chance, albeit it will be pretty much good night, won't it? They would think, if they lose at home to West Brom.
Quick scroll, Sam. I think I'm right. October the 1st, West Brom's last away win was at Norwich. And do you remember they're quite lucky to win that as well?
I don't remember it, but
Norwich played all right, and
it's a 6-pointer, isn't it? And
oh yes,
do you know, it's whoever it is one of those situations. It's whoever deals with the pressure the best, really. And you can come up with the best game plan in the world, but I've been involved in a few games at the wrong end of the table, more than my fair share, and a few times not delivered. My team's not delivered in real pressure moment. And maybe just the carnage off the pitch. Sometimes I wouldn't say the players enjoy it, but the shackles might be off a little bit for West Brom, especially if James Morrison's been a teammate of some of the guys or a confidant, someone that's a bit closer to the lads. There might be a bit of pressure alleviated.
Yeah, I'll bow to your superior knowledge on that. Preston versus Millwall, Sam, and Alex Neil derby. Brilliant win for Millwall last night, by the way.
Oh, great win. Great win.
Great performance from what I hear as well.
I've not seen anything but compliments flying their way. Right, Preston are in a bit of a hole at the moment, aren't they? I think just one win in 7 or 8, isn't it, for them? I don't know where to go here. I think I'm going to go draw. I think I'm going to go 1-1. It doesn't feel very Millwall-y anymore, the 1-1.
No.
Certainly is Preston-y. And I think a point's a good result for Millwall, and probably it's just going to leave Preston a little bit short, which is where I would suggest they're going to be right now.
Okay, I'll go for the narrative then, which would be the away win, wouldn't it? I just feel and I did the hot takes video this morning, Sam. You can lay out the narrative where if Millwall are within one game of Middlesbrough by the time they play, if they were to go to Middlesbrough then and win, Ipswich then have to play Middlesbrough after Easter, and you can draw out the road for Millwall to take second place in round 41 or 42 or whatever it would fall on. So that just sounds quite a fun narrative to me. Obviously, I prefer Ipswich Town to take second place, but we're supposed to be objective here, aren't we, Sam? So I'll go for Millwall to sneak it. I'm going to add one goal onto your prediction, Sam. Preston 1, Millwall 2. Mate, QPR versus Sheffield United. Well, I'll get your views. I did it as a watch-along. You were there, apparently, for QPR's collapse. 5-0 at Southampton. It was dreadful, wasn't it? And for that reason entirely, I'm going to be going for an away win here for Sheffield United. Hard week for Blades, hasn't it? Obviously having to play Coventry in midweek. What did they do at the weekend? Sheffield United.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Steel City Derby. Okay, which may be an easy game, but for circus and emotional reasons, kind of isn't. And they were so leaky, Sam. So I'm going to go goals. I'm going to go 3-1 away win. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I can't disagree, mate. That was a painful evening for everyone of a QPR persuasion, and a costly one as well. Losing Madsen. I don't know what the latest is there, but it looked like a hamstring, didn't it? Which could be 4, 5, 6 weeks, or even worse. For me, QPR, the lack of penetration, the lack of pace, and if you factor in no Burrell, no Poku, no Dembele, no Paul Smith, there's your 4 players probably in the attacking areas that have got pace. Yeah. So the only way they were going to score the other night, I felt, even at 1-0 when they were in the game for half an hour, weren't they? When it was a bit ugly and they had a few dead balls and a few opportunities ricocheting around the box. That was the only way they were going to score. You know, a knockdown, a second ball, a set piece, second phase. They lack creativity without those guys. Ilias Chair as well. And at the other end, the goalkeeper had an absolute shocker. So he, all of a sudden, having rebuilt his season after the concession of 7 at Coventry, he's going to have to do likewise again if he's selected. Maybe Steve Cook comes back in. He's been absent for the last couple. I don't know if he's been rested or if he's got a niggle, but he'll probably come back in.
Well, that will help.
That will help keep the score down. I'll go 1-0 Sheffield United. I think reality check for QPR if people thought they might make the playoffs, and hopefully they can finish the season strong, because there's a lot of good players in that squad now, good young players. So the fans need a bit of optimism to take into next season, at least.
Sheffield Wednesday versus Southampton, Sam. And I know we're not going to be covering Sheffield Wednesday next season, but it looks like the preferred bidder is now pulled out. So,
oh really?
Yeah, that doesn't sound great, and that now they need to go through that process again. So more off-pitch nonsense, and I'm losing count. 11 L's in a row, 28 without a win, and Saints scored 5 in midweek. What are you saying?
It's mad, isn't it? It just shows you how strong the Championship is, because this scenario has unfolded at different levels and teams have been able to rally to a degree, but with so many unproven young players having to play so many minutes, such a threadbare squad, it really has been so tough for them. And credit to the punters who keep going. I spoke to a few at the QPR game around about a month ago, and really sad, but they've supported the team, and the club will still be here, which is the most important thing, and hopefully they can rebuild next year, get a new owner and be up there challenging in League One. Great club, obviously. Doesn't need me to say that. Loved going there, and we want to see him back in the Championship at least, and in the Premier League in time. However, enjoyed watching Southampton. I think there's a lot of good movement, a lot of rotation. Actually reminded me of Chelsea, the way that they build up, like in terms of the shape. I like that relationship on the right-hand side between James Bree and Matsuki, isn't it? Those two kind of dovetail really nicely. So, yeah, I fancy them and I fancy them to win well. I'll go 2-0 Southampton.
I'm going to do something tactical here, and I might do it a few times with Wednesday at the end of the season. I'm going to play for a bonus point, and the most likely way that happens is Sheffield Wednesday 1, Southampton 4. I don't want to go all in on 2 5s in a row because that would be the most fun narrative. Not for the Wednesday fans, but yeah, I can see it being comfortable. And in for a penny, in for a pound, I'll go for a 4-1 away win. Right. Save the trickiest I say to last. We're going to do a bonus game. We're going to do Ipswich Hull, which is on Tuesday as well. But Birmingham Middlesbrough, Sam. Quite disappointed you're not going first on this one. No idea how to call this. So Birmingham have been on a great run and then were well beaten in the first half, particularly at Millwall. However, they have had to go back-to-back aways to Norwich, where they won, and then to Millwall, which is tricky. Now they go back home. Middlesbrough, 3 games ago, I thought they're the best side in the league. They're playing the best football. They're going to go on and win the title. And then they've got a bit of a nosebleed at the top. 1 point in the previous 2 games here, 2 draws, and 2 draws against sides in the relegation zone. So you can argue it's a slip from Borough. They have gone 4 winless under Hellberg before. The easiest thing I could do here, I'm so annoyed you're not going first, Sam. The easiest thing I could do here is go for the draw, but I kind of want to go for a decisive result. And do you know what? I've gone for Millwall to win. So maximum chaos would be Millwall winning and Middlesbrough losing, wouldn't it? Ugh. Sam, I'm sorry. I can't get away from the draw. I can't. That just feels the most sensible thing to do here when I'm so confused. 1-1. Are you picking a winner?
I'll pick a winner, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to contradict myself completely because since Middlesbrough beat Preston 4-0, they're averaging a goal a game. So they've had 5 goals, 4 in the next 5. Yeah, I've only scored twice in the last 3. And yeah, my sentiment, I think, for a lot of the season was I just didn't trust their firepower. And I know the goals don't have to come from the centre forward. But maybe that's the challenge that they're going to have to overcome in the tail end of the season. Birmingham, here we go. I'm going to go all like really dinosaur-y here. How many of those players that started at the Den had never been to the Den before? I want to see that. Somebody do that for me today, please. Because there's a lot of new signings in that Birmingham side who have done really well to this point and got everyone really expectant that they can be in the playoffs this season. But they went under, didn't they? Not loads of shots in the game, actually. I just had a little look. I think Millwall scored with 2 of their first 4. There wasn't many shots, really. So that doesn't look like they got an absolute hammering that the result would suggest. But, yeah, I'll be interested in how many of those have not experienced the midweek night in South East London. However, I digress. Middlesbrough to go to Birmingham and get back on the horse. I'm going to go another 2-1. 2-1 away win.
You completely swerved me then. I thought you'd built that up for a home win. Right, we're going to do a bonus one. We'll do it quick fire, Sam, so I just need a scoreline. Obviously, we have no clue what either Ipswich or Hull have been doing, but we got a busy week next week, so there won't be time to do this in any way, shape or form. So this is a reschedule, is it? Or it's an FA Cup mover, isn't it? Ipswich Hull. Ipswich, we've predicted both of us will beat Swansea. Hull, we've both gone for the draw at Pompey. And that would be you up first, Sam. You don't need an explanation. Just give me a quick scoreline. Ipswich Hull, this is on the Tuesday night. A bonus 13th game.
Well, I went quite conservative at Fratton Park. So let's flip what they did to Derby. 4-2 Ipswich.
I love it when I say quick fire and just you get all logic out the window. 6 goals, get them in there. Well, I'll back Ipswich as well. They played well against Hull at MKM and they won 2-0, I think. So I'll go for that. Ipswich 2, Hull 0. Right, thank you, Sam. Can you just give me a quick plug? So you are at
Ashton
Bristol
Gate
City,
on Friday night and then Fratton
Watford,
Park Saturday lunchtime.
Frat Park, and you never do it as well. You always say on this pod, on that pod. So can you just give a quick plug what the EFL and what's the Chelsea one called as well?
There's a new What the EFL out at the moment, actually. We recorded yesterday, which was a bit of a Tuesday recap and looking ahead to the weekend in various different leagues. And straight out of Cobham, recording later today. So if anyone wants to build up to Chelsea at the Emirates Sunday, that's where you can get 45 minutes gold.
Brilliant stuff. Support Sam, the big man, in all his ventures, and support this channel. Hit thumbs up, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. We will see you. Maybe we'll do a championship check-in next week because it's not a 3-game week for once. Whatever happens, we'll be seeing you at some point next week. Thanks for watching. And get your predictions in the comments.